morning.
How you doing?
Well, greater than
We're well. I'm just not too happy about
inflation.
The rate of inflation. What the justification is, the Minister of Agric had been in Parliament and saying that the farm gate, for example, the prices are low, which is true, but trying to justify or not justify or blame the traders who bring these to Accra for profiteering. But he's forgotten that, I mean, there's been a sharp increase in transport fares.
Exactly.
And then the increments that we're experiencing in fuel as well have been, I won't say indiscriminate, but it's something that we have no hold on. For example, a VIP just increased their fares straight away from 50 something or 60 something to 120 to Kumasi. So if you're bringing an input or produce from, let's say, the Bono region or somewhere from northern Ghana, you have to factor in all these. Besides, you never even know the farmer or even the one who is cutting that produce, who is the main wholesaler, so to speak, in Accra, bringing that produce to Agbobloshi, might also have taken some loan.
Yeah.
And that loan has been contracted at an exorbitant rate. So there are a lot of dynamics within the economy which goes against the reasons why we have prices of
when I heard
so when you just suppose that with inflation, and we're told that inflation from 37.2 to just 40.4, it's not as if that we have no reason. You know, sometimes they think that we're just talking
that's
for
the
nothing.
figure from the GSS, but
Yes.
really, when it comes to people's pockets, inflation
Exactly.
is probably like 100%.
It's more
No,
than that, yeah.
prices
So you
have
can't even
tripled.
tell us.
Some have
Exactly.
quadrupled.
Look,
and that's a reality.
let's use your dining table items: egg, bread, milk, sugar, tea leaf, or if you like the Milos and the rest. Just put it, your dining table items, and you would realize that from breakfast to lunch to supper, you are in trouble. Now, the moment I heard the minister talk about the fact that, oh, it cannot be transport fares, I knew that he has lost touch with the reality. Because here's a minister who told us that he would set up shops at the Greek ministry so people can come and shop. So if I live at Enche, I need to come to the Greek ministry to buy. Is that what he's suggesting? Or he would have a replica of those at many different locations within the country. Now, Roland started a conversation. Maybe I want to take it further. I've been talking to commercial farmers because we don't have state farms, really, in the strict sense of the word. There is no single policy for commercial farmers in this country. So if you're a commercial farmer, for example, and I'll use the example of rice. Rice or maize takes up to 4 months to plant and harvest. So even with the rain-based agriculture that we're doing, they harvest rice twice in a year. If we had the dams that were promised as part of One Village, One Dam functional in those Fumbisi and those areas, they could be harvesting 4 times a year. The present 2-time harvest that we do caters for about 400,000 and 500,000 metric tons of the rice. So the 1 million that we import, assuming we harvest 4 times, we already have the 1 million to 500,000. And then if we give them support to expand, we're going to kill that 500,000. So we are not importing. And then if we further expand, we will get some more to be able to export. There's no fuel subsidy for any farmer in this country. So how much
No
I buy?
tariff reduction on the tractors that they even...
Tariff that they import, there's no tariff reduction. There's no tariff reduction on electricity for them, none on water. So those who don't have the benefit of the rivers and the streams because they've been destroyed by Galamsey because we sat and watched, they would have to use Ghana Water Company water to do it. And that's cost to them. They will have to use irrigation that spent with their own money. Farm gates, right? We're talking farm gates, but there are farm hands on the farmlands. Who pays them? And all of these costs will be pushed onto the consumer eventually. So by the time they harvest the maize and the rice, the price is so high, even though the quality is the same like what we import. The minister should be addressing these things. What is the fertilizer regime for commercial farmers? Does the minister know? Does he even have one for commercial farmers in this country? So he should stop the talk. There's a way to go about this one. I'm not an agronomist. I'm not an economist. But I've just given you my common sense of how we can get this done if we encourage them. If somebody is doing 1,000 acres now and we help them to expand to 2,000 acres, it only means that what they harvest will be more, which means that there will be more food. In terms of storage, where are the storage areas? And are the storage areas that we even have, are they, yes, number one, that's close to the farm. Number two, are they suitable for the kinds of things that are going to be kept in them? Because what we have, we just built cement and block places, covered it with zinc, and we're calling them warehouses. So if you have grains, like rice, like sorghum, like millet, that have to be stored at a certain temperature at all times. How do you just go and put them there and leave them there? So what are we up to?
I mean, for me, this conversation about even fuel prices, okay, Land.
The Agri Minister, again, has no policy for example, NADMO, National Disaster Management Organization. Where do they source their rice from? Do they source it from the local farmers? Where does school feeding source their rice from? Buffer stock, where do they source their rice from? It's going to be Christmas very, very soon. We will see the hampers and the rice packs. Where would the rice be sourced from? So the Agri Minister needs to be talking home and say, oh, develop taste. How do we develop the taste when you're spending state resources to import the rice from elsewhere? When your people are growing rice, maize, and other things that you are not. We import rice into this country. We import maize. We import millet. We import sorghum. We import all the things that are on the planting for food and jobs list. Yet the minister has the effrontery to be going around to be talking about what, food inflation.
And the fact that the market...
What is he talking about?
Making, you know...
what is he talking about?
For me, the issue about the fuel, I always go back to December 2021. How much were we buying fuel for? It was just about 60, 73 pesos or so then. If you look at between December, it's not even a year yet. And now I'm buying diesel for over 20 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
For me, that is problematic.
Yeah.
The Drivers Association had constantly mentioned that there are certain taxes that you can take of it so that we can also not be forced to increase prices. You haven't done that. The only taxes that you took off had nothing to do with what the drivers were asking for, and it amounted to just about 15 pesos at that time. So prices went up, and they've been going up since. If you speak, government says that if we take off those taxes, we're going to lose 4 billion, Ghana cedis, and so we're not ready to.
Yeah.
So it's as if nobody really cares about the pains that the Ghanaians are experiencing at the moment, and the fact that drivers are saying that even when we increase, we don't add the prices of lubricants, spare parts, and all of that. So we are also reeling.
Brake fluid and all of that.
But government
Maintenance.
is adamant and says that we're sorry, but we know you're reeling, but we also cannot lose 4 billion.
Yeah.
So no matter what you say, we're not going to reduce it, and that is why we're here. And you expect a market woman who has to pay so much to transport her food items from the farm gate to the market to not increase her prices. I mean, how? I bought food items along the Kumasi Road not too long ago. A bunch of plantain, and I got it for about 120 Ghana cedis.
It wasn't 4 cedis?
No, and this was quite recently. And this was when I was coming even from Kumasi, so this was in the Ashanti region.
Can you imagine?
If it gets to the Greater Accra, you expect them to sell it for what?
Transport is there, plus those who will pack it, plus the assembly who will take taxes from the market women. The minister has lost touch, but the president believes he is performing excellently. That's where the problem is. Because maize is our staple. Tuozafi, banku, kenke, those things that we eat, regular stuff. It is so expensive. What was the price of a bag of maize then? 350 or so. What is it now? More than 600, almost 800 now.
These are the big issues.
Kenkenomics.
So now when you're talking...
Kenkenomics.
Say you come and sit on TV and...
but we will go and buy the food ourselves.
But there's an issue on social media you and I raised, and it's about Amma Governor, a young lady, very intelligent, apparently has passed the bar exam at the law school, was supposed to have been added to the list of the call tomorrow.
Yeah.
And well, has not been added, and it's trending on social media because the school says, well, they have exercised their own discretion on the sense of behavior that she exhibits on social media.
So we see the law school should not be lawless. Was it not the law school?
Well, they have their laws.
Well, the law school.
They have their
relax, Roland. The rules of natural justice. The law school should not be lawless. Now, was it not the same law school that publicly admitted that they had admitted students who did not go through the process? This lady has gone through the process. if you think that somebody's social media, so why is and the statement said that they want to monitor people.
Social media.
But that's post.
But how dare? But how dare anybody want to monitor? That's you are chasing the people.
Well,
you want to monitor and do what? You want to monitor the people and do monitor. Are you a security institution? Fix the rot in there at the law school.
Well, to be fair,
the law school.
There's a legal profession.
Hold on. Let me finish my
regulation.
You can. I know that you want to wear black and white. Slow down. Me, I don't want to wear black and white.
And it says call to the bar.
Relax.
So you go to section 21.
The law school.
Let me just surprise you.
Hold on.
A student of the school
it is on
qualifies
record
to
that
be
the law
called to the
school
bar.
admitted students who were not
if that
qualified.
student has passed the qualifying certificate examination.
The 10 people, were they qualified?
And then C, you got to C, satisfy the council that the student is of good character.
Who determines?
Who determines good
what
character?
good character
The
is?
council.
Okay.
This is
The council.
Yeah. But
Is anybody checking their character as well?
Well,
You see, because if
was
it's an issue
was
of
it not the
morality,
council that sat down and people
if
were
it's an issue of
put
morality,
into the law
it's
school?
regulation.
who is checking the checker?
law.
Babella, I'm just saying here that in the
let me
law
just
school,
surprise you.
the law school cannot deny it because there were people who admitted without writing the exam and going through the interview process. Who checked the council's
regulation? You go to section 21C. Says satisfied the council that the student is of good character. So after you have passed your bar exam, you'll be added to the
But
list.
you see, it's very
you have
big
to
because if
satisfy
you say
this.
good character,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that? What do you
it's
use to
vague.
determine?
It's
Yes, what do you use to
It
determine
is a
good character?
discretion exercise
So if I'm on social
by
media and
by
I'm
the
speaking my
council
mind-
that has been empowered by this regulation.
Do you know, Roland? Do you know, Bella? Do you know that students of
Have
the
you
law
watched
school?
the lady's social media?
No,
videos?
but you see,
See,
then
have you
this is a
watched-
moral. No, but
See,
then
it's
this
a moral
becomes
agreement.
No, but this
moral
is
agreement.
regulation,
And I'm
regulation.
sorry, but who determines what good
Bella.
character
This is regulation.
Do you know that? Do you know that the
And you know-
same law school
And you know,
superintends?
when we have to make references to the president's interaction, was it on Al Jazeera or with the BBC?
Yes,
he
Al
says
Jazeera.
that if we have the sum numbers, that is the mass number of people making the call for LGBT issues,
But that's a
etc.
legal matter.
Yeah,
When it comes to LGBT, that's a different matter.
That is before we get to the realm of legality.
If that's really the reason why she
See.
was not called to buy, I wish I would separate that and
No,
deal with that
I'm not
separately.
saying. I'm
saying
only,
that
I'm
if.
only making
See.
reference
I'm just saying
to
that
the
if, then
regulation.
you should separate that.
The
And the
Did
regulation
she
is-
qualify
let me just
per
surprise
the
you on the
regulation?
No, Roland, you are reading
Legal-
too much. See, Roland, you are reading too much of this.
Legal
I mean,
profession
See, Roland.
regulations
Roland,
2018.
wait,
Deal
can
with
I make
her
can I make
differently
a
on
point?
that
But why are you
matter.
too heckling?
Can I-
No,
we're not
we're
heckling.
not heckling,
Can we-
but I'm
can we
just
make a
saying
point?
I'm a governor. The thing is trending on social
Did she
media.
meet
Why
the
you-
requirements?
See.
And if you say good
See,
character, who is
determining
that?
it?
The
And I'm
council.
saying that.
How are they determining?
See.
Based on what measures? Exactly.
See,
The
and I'm
council.
saying that at least the law school has shown us that they have given people admission who are not qualified to get admission. The same law school which says that you have a right to be heard. When students write their exams, they don't even have a right to come and request for their slip if
Yeah.
they think that, oh, they were not marked properly and they need to ask for a
that's good
remark.
character, but then if someone
But
speaks their mind on
what kind of
social media-
arbitrariness is that?
I'm only quoting the
Oh,
regulation.
you
just
cut it
saying.
black and white. But I'm saying that that's their
We're
actions.
asking them.
That's their actions to prove it.
I mean,
The
they really need to
council
come
is
out and
empowered to
explain.
exercise that discretion.
No
They
problem.
need to come out
so,
and explain
so
to us.
the discretion
Really.
includes giving people who are not qualified admission.
It's not in the law.
Unless she's done something
It's not in the
else,
regulation.
which is what they're relying on to prevent her from being called to the bar.
It's
I
her
don't
activities
see.
on social media that
Are they criminal?
Activities.
her activities,
Are they criminal?
according to the council, are deemed not to be of good character.
Are they? You know, in the Constitution, they say before you become a judge,
beat me, lad. Why
a
you-
judge,
why you like this?
they said you have to be of high moral character and proven integrity, right? The director of the law school, who superintendent or supposed to have superintended over the people who got in without proper qualification, was even nominated as a judge, correct?
Yes.
Did the council speak?
Well, that case,
Those are
that case
facts.
was put before the court.
Yes, but I'm saying those are facts.
And subsequently,
But those are facts, right?
so we have to.
So people
Anyway.
got in without qualification. Is
Yeah,
that the
that's true,
case?
That's true.
And the council, that is a matter of
Are
morality.
they lawyers
and
of
even,
bad character?
and
Why are they still lawyers?
And
Why
that
is
is why
nobody
they are
kicking
that
them
is
out?
why they are dealt with at the disciplinary level by the General Legal Council.
So at the top level, everybody is of good character.
But you don't know Francis Xavier.
Everybody is of good character.
Subsequently, of course, he went to court. And then
school way they fit
He
give,
who has not sinned should cast the first stone.
school way go fit give admission for people with no
that be
qualification.
Bible law.
But if we're all making arguments about character and all that,
Character. Is character not in the Bible?
I think you're not being fair to me. This heckling must stop.